This is the Data Crew Snack Break Sling, and this is the latest in the line of Data Crew products, which are made in America. They have a style to them, which are unique in the everyday carry community. And I'm going to give you my bottom line up front. If you are down with the footprint, the signature, and the stylings of Data Crew and this type of items that they put out, everything from the What a Junior, the What a Slider, the snack break sling, the snack time sling, all that type of stuff, and you're okay with the price point, you want something made in America and you want to support your local villain, buy it. Go ahead, snag it, add it to your collection. However, if your goal is to find a sling that's about the size of a tech pouch, you want some good materials, you don't particularly care if it's made in America or whatever, I can't recommend this sling because of its competitors, and we'll talk about that later on in the video. But let's first talk about the sling itself. The snack break sling. This is a very, very good looking sling. It's made of X-Pack material. It does have AquaGuard zippers on here, which I think I could have done without, mainly because what I've noticed is that the coating on these zippers do wear down, they break down. I have a few older slings from other competitors, and they eventually do break down unless you're going to actually have this thing out in the elements. I think that that's something that could have been left off, but it's made of X-Pack. It looks really good. You can get it in two different color options. This side is slick. The other side does have a strip of for hook and loop, for all your REs and your patches that you may want to put on there. I like the stylistic choices of that. I like how well it's integrated. It doesn't look like it was an afterthought. So it does have a zipper pocket on both sides. It's identical. So if you want to slip maybe a passport, if you want to slip field notes, if you want to slip your car keys or something like that, you can put that there. Then here you can see that it does have the coating on those two zippers to keep those quiet. Whereas the top two zippers are YKK zippers, but they are a little loud. You can hear those at the top. It does have these little holders here, which is where you would actually attach the sling itself, which this is a sling, but once it's on, this is kind of a sling that you wear kind of in front of your body. It almost looks like a purse. So it may be something that it just kind of depends on the type of swag that you have. And if that's something that you're going to want to wear, if that's something that you're going to want to have. We're going to talk about what I like most compare this to here in a second, but you can kind of put this on here and then this just slips over your shoulder. You can wear this and this will be facing the front once it's on your body, just because of how the thing is built out. So very well designed when it comes to thinking about attaching that strap to it. I can appreciate the fact that this is made in the USA, which is fantastic. Now, diving into it, I threw some stuff in here. I took this pouch with me to a recent work trip to Huntsville, Alabama, where I used this for as a tech case. I normally would use the Alpaca Element Tech Sling. They're about the same size. They kind of get the job done in similar ways, but I retired this for that trip and I took this. This does have some things I didn't like about it. I did like about it, and we'll talk about that. First off, high vis interior, nice orange high vis interior, so you can kind of see even in a darker environment if you're missing something, if you forgot something. Made in America label there. I like that. But you can kind of see there, it's kind of hard to open up and see fully what's inside, but I'll even show you what I kind of keep inside. And I did just leave a few items in here so it can kind of give you an idea of what you can and cannot fit in this. So right now we're going to talk about what's on this side here. The very, very back, there is a zipper back there. Okay. In that zipper, I just have a Thunderbolt 4 cable so I can charge my computer, my phone, any devices. This is a 6-foot long cable, so you can see this, it can handle quite a bit of cord. So if you wanted to put a bunch of smaller cables in here, back there, it would handle that just fine. I have one very long cable just so I can just plug it up and it worked. That's normally what works well for me. So in front of that is a loop panel, which is starting to become kind of a staple for Data Crew in their slings. Is kind of like these little modular pouches that you can take out, move from sling to sling, pack to pack. And I like that design because you can just take this whole thing out and load it how you see fit, and then put it back into the sling instead of trying to stuff the items inside. So here you can see on the front here, I do have a pair of Google Pixel Buds. So you can kind of see this might be a good area for you to put your AirPods, your Sony Buds, whatever you decide you may want to put there. Maybe a pill bottles if you have some medicine you need to take with you. Once again, another little strip of loop paneling here. So if you want to put REs there, you can, or you can use the little holder that comes with it. Here I have the Olight O-Clip Pro, and I have the Roxxon multi-tool. I think this is the KS2. Both those kind of neatly fit there. And then behind it is a slip pocket, which is if you do decide to use this little holder here, this slip pocket is almost useless for anything other than like maybe your ID or some business cards. But you can kind of keep that all there nice and neat. It kind of all fits just in one. And you can kind of see the area where that belongs is right here. And that just goes back inside. You stick that on there and you're kind of good to go. The other side is a zippered pocket. And the zippered pocket, I keep a battery bank by Ugrain, 100-watt battery bank, so I can use that cord that we talked about earlier. And I keep some bits to use with that multi-tool I just showed you. If I'm in a hotel environment, work environment, if I need to tighten or loosen something, that comes up more often than not. So I like to be able to have those bits. But you can kind of see it's not a lot of room in here. So the only other thing I would throw in here normally on a work day would be a mouse by Logitech. So I would throw that in here. Matter of fact, I'll show you. So I might have this Logitech mouse that I have with me. And what I would normally do is if I'm about to head to work, I grab this, throw it in here, and that kind of sits here. And at the beginning of that trip, I would take a Google Chromecast, its charger, in the remote, and I would stick those in here. As soon as I get to my hotel, I take those out, plug them into the TV. This is already signed into my Google account. I hotspot to it. It already knows my hotspot, so I can watch whatever I want to in a hotel room. But this is kind of how it normally is packed out. So, but this is kind of how I pack this out for a tech case. So it does work well for that. Could this be a more traditional pouch? I don't really think so. I think it does fall short a little bit. So this is my normal EDC pouch. This is the Nutsack Commander. They're almost about the same size, but the Nutsack Commander is a full clamshell opening, much easier to see the items inside. And although these are about the same size, even like my Nutsack Commander is fully loaded out, it stores way more stuff, has way more use for the inside areas. So it kind of works out a little bit better for me. Even if I were to directly compare this to the Element Tech case by Alpaca, the Alpaca Element Tech case has that same issue of not fully being able to open and see what's inside, but it does have the high-vis interior. It has way more pockets. And for the most part, if I do open the zipper a little bit more, I can kind of see what's going on in here a little bit better. It does have a pen keeper in here, and it works out for me. The reason I would say that if you're buying this just for a tech case, I wouldn't make the purchase is because this is $165. You are paying for the Made in America branding, and you're also paying for the Data Crew branding because the materials are similar to the Element Tech case. Now, this one is not the X-Pack, but the X-Pack material, the high quality zippers, the high-vis interior, this is $55. Maybe you spend $70 if you get better materials on the Element Tech case. It's a little bit bigger. And it also, the sling functionality on the Element Tech case works a little bit better because of how the sling attaches to the bag itself. So if you're buying the Data Crew, you're buying it because you like Data Crew. You want to be able to display your REs, or maybe you have a medical allergy and you want to put that on here. You're allergic to penicillin. So if you tell somebody to reach inside, this is where you can keep your EpiPen, that might be important to you. So, that's one thing you have to think about is that, do you want to spend that money for that premium? So here is it in comparison to its bigger brother. This is the snack time sling. This is like $275. This is more like a fanny pack. And once again, same kind of thing here. You're paying for the data crew, the data crew quality, the branding, all that type of stuff. Here, this one's a little bit easier to get into because it kind of opens all the way up and you can kind of see what's inside of here. This is also made in America. So I think that for me personally, just going at this alone, just looking at this by itself, is the juice worth its squeeze when it comes to just everything that it's made up for and everything that it does? No, it's not. But as I mentioned earlier, if those things are important to you, if you already have the Data Crew Water Slider, the Water Junior, Snack Break Sling, maybe version 1 of the Snack Time Sling or whatever, then this might be something that's for you because it stands up dope. I love having the REs on there. If you like that type of stuff, then that's something you can always check out. Also, disclosure, Data Crew sent this out to me. They don't get to see the video before the rest of you guys. They didn't sponsor this video. And I'm just giving my honest opinion about this product. But what do you guys think? Data Crew Snack Break Sling. Is this something that you would snag? Is this something that you've had your eye on? Let me know with your comments down below. If this is your first time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.